Who in here has ever heard of a t-shirt or even seen a t-shirt? Okay, so a couple of you all. So a little bit about t-shirts are, they're typically used to compare things such as the positive and negatives of something or factor opinions. This strategy is referred to by Laura Robb in her book Teaching Reading in Social Studies, Science, and Math. Here are just a couple examples of what some T-charts can look like. On the left we have, we see they're comparing fake reading and real reading. On the middle picture, it says my predictions and why I might think this. And then on the right side it is inferences and the evidence supporting our inferences. So for our use, we're going to be focusing on problems and solutions in text. So this is what your all's is going to look like. I passed it out at the beginning of class. Everyone should have a sheet that looks like this on their paper. Go ahead and write your name at the top of the paper. Give you all a couple minutes to do that. So T-charts are pretty easy to make. You just, so if say we're using it on like a lined piece of paper, you would just, on the top part of your lined paper, you just make the top of the T and then down the middle, you would make a line. So a couple practices using a T-chart. So we're going to be focusing, again, we're focusing on problems and solutions in text. So for example, let's say we got 1 to 2 feet of snow. So that's a lot of snow. That's a lot of snow. So what are some possible problems? So what happens if we get a lot of snow here? What tends to happen with school? Yeah, so we usually get canceled. So school usually gets canceled, and we could be trapped in our houses. So let's say that we are going to cancel school. So say we're out of, 2 feet of snow, we're going to be canceled for a pretty long time. So let's see, what would be a possible solution if school was canceled? Okay, yeah. Yeah, we could just not do the work, but we're smart, we want to do the work. What would be? Okay, so we could be delayed of school, but that's, 2 feet, we probably wouldn't be canceled. And then, we would find alternative ways for instruction. So I could send home packets with you all and things like that. And then virtual, we could all do virtual. So then another example would be like 2 feet of snow. That's like up to my waist. We might be trapped in our houses. So solutions to that would be you could play family games and bond with your family, and then also you could attempt to dig yourself out. So we're going to be using Mummies in the Morning to do this activity. Everyone should have a copy on their desks. It is by Mary Pope Osborne. This isn't the same chart you have, but it's very similar. So I gave you 2 of the 3 problems in the book. The first problem we see is Jack and Annie hear a noise coming from the bushes by the treehouse. It's on page 1 and 2. And then the second problem we see is Jack and Annie hear noises in the pyramids in Egypt on page 19. So the goal is to read through the story and find possible solutions. So I'm going to go ahead and start reading. Okay, page 1. It's here, said Jack. It looks empty, said Annie. Jack and his 7-year-old sister gazed up at a very tall oak tree. At the top of the tree was a treehouse. Late morning sunlight lit the woods. It was almost time for lunch. Shh, said Jack. What was that noise? What noise? I heard a noise, Jack said. He looked around. It sounded like somebody coughing. I didn't hear anything, said Annie. Come on, let's go. She grabbed onto the rope ladder and started climbing. Jack tiptoed over to the clump of bushes. He pushed aside a small branch. Hello, he said. Anybody there? There was no answer. Come on, Annie said. The tree house looks the same as it did yesterday. Jack still felt that someone was nearby. Could it be the person who had put all the books in the treehouse? Jack! Jack! Jack gazed over the top of the bushes. Was the mysterious person watching him now? The person whose name began with an M? Maybe M wanted the gold medallion back, the one that Jack had found on the dinosaur adventure. Maybe M wanted the leather bookmark back, the one from the castle book. There was an M on the medallion and an M on the bookmark, but what did M stand for? Sure, I'll bring everything back, said loudly. A breeze swept through the woods. The leaves rattled. Come on, called Annie. Jack went back to the big oak tree. He grabbed onto the rope and climbed up. At the top, he crawled through a hole in a small wooden floor. He tossed down his backpack and pushed his glasses into place. Which book is it going to be today? Said Annie. She was looking around at the books scattered around the treehouse. Annie picked up the book about castles. Hey, this isn't wet anymore, she said. Let me see. Jack took the book from her. He was amazed. It looked fine. Yesterday it had gotten soaked in a castle moat. The castle book had taken Jack and Annie back to the time of knights. Jack silently thanked the mysterious knight who had rescued them. Watch out, warned Annie. She waved a dinosaur book in front of Jack's face. Put that away, said Jack. The day before yesterday, the dinosaur book had taken them to the time of dinosaurs. Jack silently thanked the Pterion who had saved him from the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Annie put the dinosaur book back with the other books. Then she gasped. Wow, look at this, she whispered. She held up a book about ancient Egypt. Jack caught his breath. He took the book from her. A green silk bookmark stuck out of it. Jack turned the page with the bookmark. There was a picture of a pyramid. Going towards the pyramid was a long parade. 4 huge cows with horns were pulling a sled. On the sled was a long golden box. Many Egyptians were walking behind the sled. At the end of the parade was a sleek black cat. Let's go there, whispered Annie. Now. Wait, said Jack. He wanted to study it a bit more. Pyramids, Jack, said Annie. You love pyramids. It was true. Pyramids were high on his list of favorite things after the knights, but before the dinosaurs. Way before the dinosaurs. He didn't have to worry about being eaten by a pyramid. Okay, he said, but hold the Pennsylvania book, and just in case we want to come back right here. Annie found the book with the picture of their hometown in it, Frog Creek, Pennsylvania. Then Jack pointed to the pyramid picture in the Egypt book. He cleared his throat and said, I wish we could go to this place. Meow. What was that? Jack looked around the treehouse. A black cat was perched on the branch right outside the window. The cat was staring at Jack and Annie. It was the strangest cat Jack had ever seen. He was very sleek and dark, with bright yellow eyes and a wide golden collar. It's the cat in the Egypt book, whispered Annie. Just then, the wind started to blow. The leaves began to shake. Here we go, cried Annie. The wind whistled loud. The leaves shook harder. Jack closed his eyes as the treehouse started to spin. It spun faster and faster and faster. Suddenly, everything was still, absolutely still. Not a sound, not a whisper. Jack opened his eyes. Hot, bright sunlight nearly blinded him. Meow! So after reading the first chapter, do we know what noise they heard yet in the bushes by the treehouse? No. Do we have any suggestions? Do we think it's the person that left them the books? All right, now we're going to start chapter 2, and I'm going to read the book, and I want you all to keep problem 2, Jack and Annie hear noises in impairments in your. I want you to keep that in mind while I'm reading this. While I'm reading the next couple chapters.